Have you ever stood in the middle of a quiet night with your chest feeling heavy and your thoughts sounding louder than the silence around you? It is that moment when you feel utterly torn between what you feel in your gut and what you know in your head, like a heart dragging you into the dark while a faint, steady voice inside tries to point toward the light. Fear tells you to run, hurt tells you to break, and desire whispers for you to take the easiest path out. Yet beneath all that noise, there is something calmer waiting for you to notice it. The brutal truth is that most of us are living as slaves to these fleeting currents, scattered in the wake of emotional storms that promise us truth, but only ever magnify the shadows already hiding within us. We spend our lives arranged in a mirror that shows us only who we are now, rather than the powerful person we were actually meant to become. You didn't stumble upon this conversation by accident. You are here because your inner voice knows it is finally time to take the wheel from the passengers who have been driving your car into the dirt. Who is really in control of your life? Is it the chaos of your latest mood, or is it you? We live in a world that glorifies the impulse, telling us to follow our hearts, as if the heart isn't a deceitful thing that shifts with every breeze. If you do not choose the helm of your own mind, the tide will carry you into the wreckage without ever asking where you actually wanted to go. Think about it. How many dreams have you abandoned because hopelessness whispered louder than your perseverance? How many bridges have you burned in a single heated moment of anger, only to live with the ash for years to come? When your mind is untrained, every careless scroll on a phone becomes a storm in your chest. Every comparison to an illusion on a screen steals your peace, and every rejection feels like a final verdict on your worth. You feel unworthy and you assume that must be who you are. But I am here to tell you that your emotions are lying to you. They are signals, yes, but they are never meant to be the map. If you want to win the inside game, you have to realize that your mind is the most powerful weapon in the world, but it is also a factory that produces thousands of thoughts a day, and not all of them are true. Most people are like radios tuned to static, picking up every frequency of fear, failure, and mediocrity. They wake up reacting, drifting, and surrendering to whatever the world throws at them. And then they wonder why wealth and peace seem to knock on every door except theirs. The secret that elite performers and ancient sages understood is that victory does not begin with wealth or luck. It begins with the condition of the mind. You have power over your mind, not outside events. And the moment you realize this is the moment you find a strength that cannot be broken by a bad day or a harsh word. Imagine your mind as a beautiful garden. Your 5 senses are the gates to that garden. And right now, most of you are letting poison flow through those gates every single day. You feed your soul with gossip, toxic content, and the complaints of people who have never built anything in their lives. You are planting seeds of doubt and wondering why your life is blooming with anxiety. You cannot plant a flower in dirty soil and expect it to reach the sun. If you want to change your life, you have to become a ruthless guard at the temple of your mind. You must decide what enters, because what enters your mind eventually enters your reality. Stop babysitting your feelings as if they are kings. Start treating them like students that need to be taught how to behave. There is a story of a young boy named Kabir who was intelligent, but could never stay focused on a single task. His mind jumped like a restless bird from one thought to another. His father took him to a wise teacher who gave him a simple glass of water and told him to walk around a garden without spilling a single drop. As Kabir walked, the birds chirped, the wind rustled the leaves, and other children laughed, and every time Kabir looked away to see the noise, the water spilled. The teacher told him, "This glass is your goal and the water is your focus. If you do not discipline your mind to stay fixed on your purpose, the noise of the world will drain you before you even realize you're empty. You are spilling your life every time you let a distraction or a mood take your eyes off the prize." The world will test you. It doesn't pause to ask if you're ready. It simply arrives with rejections, bills, and heartbreaks. If your mind isn't toughened, those pressures will bend you until you eventually shatter. But mental toughness isn't about being cold or unfeeling. It is about developing a resilience that allows you to feel the weight of life without collapsing under it. It is like the winner effect found in biology. When an animal wins a fight, its body is flooded with testosterone, making it more confident for the next battle. But when it loses and dwells on that loss, cortisol spikes, and the brain actually learns to avoid challenges to protect itself. Many of you are stuck in a cortisol loop. You are hesitating because the sting of the past has convinced your brain that it's safer to stay small. You are not your scars, you are the strength that survived them. One of the most profound examples of this kind of mental governance comes from a man who found himself at the peak of his career at only 26. He had landed his dream job as a coach for an elite world-class athletic program. He thought he had hit the lottery until he saw the documents. He realized that the people he worked for were cheating, using banned substances and sacrificing ethics for the sake of a record. He spent months in a gnawing internal war. On one side was his dream, his livelihood, and the advice of lawyers who told him that whistleblowers never win. On the other side was a single question: who do I want to be? He hit send on an email to the authorities, knowing it would turn his life upside down. Reporters stalked his house, and the FBI showed up at his garage. It took 10 years for the final appeal to end, but he learned that toughness isn't a stoic, individual pursuit. It is the ability to write your own story, even when you feel you've lost control of your life. He chose his values over his comfort, and that is where true power resides. If you want to start this transformation today, you have to win the first hour of your morning. Most people roll out of bed and instantly hand their focus over to the world by checking their notifications. They let the news and the noise dictate how they feel before they have even taken a breath. You must own that hour. It is the hour of your momentum. Hydrate, move your body, and speak life into your day. Do not mumble into the morning. Command it. If you win the first hour, you have already won the day. You need to build mental muscle by doing the things that are uncomfortable. Take the cold shower, have the hard conversation, and push through the last few reps when your mind is screaming for you to quit. Every time you lean into discomfort, you are proving to your brain that it is no longer the boss of you. We often think that discipline is a punishment, but the truth is that discipline is the highest form of self-respect. It is the ability to keep a promise you made to yourself long after the mood you made it in has passed. When you say you will do something and then you actually follow through, you begin to trust yourself again. And when you trust yourself, you become dangerous to every obstacle in your path. You stop being a person who tries and start being a person who does. There is another lesson from a Zen master on a distant mountain who was approached by a restless young man seeking peace. The master led him to a large stone basin filled with water and gave him a tiny bowl. He told the student to empty the basin using only the bowl. For hours, the young man scooped and poured, but the basin seemed to remain full. Frustration boiled over. The master gently said, "You are trying so hard to empty the basin, but you have forgotten the first step. To empty the basin, you must first empty your mind. Let go of the worries, the fears, and the attachments to the result. Focus only on the scoop in your hand." When the young man finally let go of his frustration and entered a state of flow, his movements became effortless, and the basin finally began to empty. This is the paradox of effort. The harder you try to force a result with anxiety, the further it slips away. Real effort is quiet. It is like a world-class sprinter going all out while their face remains relaxed. It is the ability to be calm in the middle of the storm. You must understand that your energy flows where your intention goes. If you focus on the problem grows. If you focus on the solution, the path opens. Stop living in the echoes of your past. Every challenge you are facing right now is merely a result of past thoughts and actions, but those echoes do not have to define your future. You can choose to install new apps in your mind today, beliefs that you are capable, that you are strong, and that you are deserving of the life you are building. But don't be fooled. Your old habits will come knocking. They linger in the shadows, waiting for the moment you are tired or stressed to strike. They feel familiar, and familiarity often feels like safety, even when it's killing you. When those old urges arise, do not meet them with shame, but with awareness. Catch the thought, interrupt the pattern. You cannot just say no to a bad habit. You have to replace it with a better one. Replace scrolling with reading. Replace complaining with gratitude. Replace hesitation with the 5-second rule. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. This is not about being perfect. It is about being consistent. You were not born to be average. You were not placed here just to survive and pay bills until you die. You have greatness in your DNA, but that greatness is currently buried under a pile of excuses and emotional baggage. You have to be willing to do the boring things with discipline if you want your life to become exciting. Most success isn't found in the spotlight. It's found in the unglamorous hours when no one is watching and you show up anyway. It is the 17 minutes of quiet focus that rewires your brain's circuitry. It is the journaling of your pain until it transforms into power. It is the decision to stop being a consumer of other people's lives and start being the creator of your own. Your mind is a supercomputer, and you are the programmer. If you define yourself as a failure, your mind will seek out evidence to prove you right. But if you reconstruct your identity around strength, your mind will find a way to make that true. Wealth, peace, and success are not things you chase. They are frequencies you tune into by becoming the person who deserves them. You attract what you are, not what you want. So I ask you again, as you stand in the middle of your own inner storm, who is going to hold the wheel, are you ready to stop negotiating with your laziness and start living with urgency? Because 6 months from now, you will surely arrive. The only question is where. Will you be telling a story of achievement or a story of regret? The weight of discipline is heavy, but it is nothing compared to the weight of what if. The world is waiting to see if you will break or if you will stand. Every single day is a training ground, and your mind is the only thing you truly own in this life. But there is a final truth you must face before we go deeper, a truth that most people are too afraid to even acknowledge. And it is this: you are not the victim of your circumstances. You are the architect of your reactions. The brutal reality is that you are the observer of your thoughts, not the thoughts themselves. And the moment you realize you can watch your fear without becoming it is the moment the cage door swings wide. You have been letting a 2-year-old version of your brain throw tantrums in the driver's seat, reacting to every bill, every insult, and every rejection as if it were a life-threatening storm, when in reality, your brain is just stuck in a survival loop. It is time to step into the awakening, to move from simply surviving the day to designing a life that is unrecognizable even to the person you were yesterday. This isn't about some vague positive thinking. It is a tactical reconstruction of your internal circuitry, a deliberate training of the most powerful weapon on this earth, your own mind. The roadmap out of your personal hell begins with the air in your lungs, because the way you breathe is the quickest way to hack your nervous system and tell your brain who is really in charge. When the pressure builds and your heart begins to race, the Navy SEALs don't panic. They use a tool called box breathing to reset their logic before the fear can hijack their focus. I want you to inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4, and hold again. This simple rhythm sends a biological signal to your body that you are safe, moving you out of the frantic fight or flight mode and back into the high-performance genius part of your brain. You cannot think clearly if your body is screaming that you're under attack, so you must use your breath to steady the ship before you even try to navigate the storm. Once you have regained your calm, you must confront the second pillar of your awakening, the brutal separation of feelings from facts. Most of your suffering exists in your imagination, in the what-ifs and the echoes of past failures that your mind plays on a loop to keep you small. When a negative thought arises, that whisper telling you that you aren't good enough or that everything will fall apart, I want you to treat it like a surgeon uses a scalpel. Cut it open and ask, is this 100% true? Most of the time, that thought isn't a fact. It's just fear dressed up as logic. You have to learn to name your emotions to tame them. Because when you can label a feeling as anxiety or frustration, you create the space necessary to choose a response rather than just reacting blindly like a leaf in the wind. To bridge the gap between where you are and the greatness in your DNA, you must adopt the Lotus method, a system designed to help you rise above the muddy chaos of life and bloom untouched. It starts with root building, where you anchor yourself in absolute clarity of purpose, because if your why isn't strong enough, the first sign of discomfort will make you fold. You must then strengthen the stem of your self-control by using the 5-second rule, The moment you feel hesitation or the urge to quit, you count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you go, forcing your brain to bypass its excuses and move into immediate action. This leads to the bloom, where you master deep focus by blocking out the world. And finally to thriving, where you stop saying, I want to be disciplined, and start declaring, I am a disciplined person. You don't attract what you want, you attract who you are, so you must reconstruct your identity around strength until your actions have no choice but to follow. There is a powerful secret in neuroscience called interoception that can forever rewire your ability to attend to what matters. Taking just 17 minutes to sit in silence, eyes closed, simply focusing on the internal state of your body and the sensation of your breath can significantly reduce attentional blinks, those moments when your mind skips over critical information because it's over-focused on the wrong things. This quiet practice trains your brain to be the master of its own focus, allowing you to dilate your gaze into panoramic vision, where you see the whole board of your life rather than getting stuck looking through a soda straw at your problems. When you can see the walls, the floor, and the horizon all at once, your frame rate of processing life increases, and the things that used to overwhelm you suddenly feel manageable. If you are serious about winning the inside game, you have to become a ruthless guard at the 4 gates of your life: your mouth, your mood, your money, and your mind. Your mouth is the broadcast station of your character. Every word you speak is a seed you are planting in the garden of your reality. Stop speaking defeat and start speaking life, because you will eventually have to live in the garden you have created with your own tongue. Control your mood by realizing that it is a choice, not a weather pattern that happens to you. You are responsible for the energy you bring into a room. Manage your money with the same discipline, because how you handle a little is exactly how you would handle a lot. And financial peace is found in the ability to delay gratification today for a fortune tomorrow. You must understand the biological reality of the winner effect to truly break your chains. Every time you win, your body gets a surge of testosterone that makes you more confident for the next battle. But every time you lose and stew in your failure, cortisol floods your system, training your brain to avoid challenges, to stay safe. To win, you must stack small wins like bricks in a wall. Don't try to climb the mountain in one leap. Just win the first hour of your morning. Wake up, hydrate, and move your body with fire, because you cannot build a strong mind in a weak, slumping body. When you move with purpose, your thoughts begin to follow that pace, and you prove to your subconscious that you are a leader, not a follower of your whims. If you are ambitious, but you have been living in laziness, it is because your tasks feel too big and your brain is wired to avoid the pain of the impossible. Outsmart yourself by using the 2-minute rule. Whatever it is you've been avoiding, commit to doing it for just 120 seconds. Read 1 page, write 1 sentence, or do 10 push-ups. Once the ball is rolling, the first push of resistance is gone and momentum takes over. The greats, the Andrew Carnegies, the Henry Fords, the Thomas Edisons, weren't superheroes. They were simply people who refused to stop going back to the task until it became their new normal. Edison didn't fail 10,000 times. He simply found 10,000 ways that didn't work, and he had the mental toughness to treat each one as data rather than defeat. You have to be willing to do the boring things with a monk-like discipline if you want your life to become extraordinary. Success is not found in the grand, exciting moments. It is found in the unglamorous 3 a.m. hours when you are duct taping your feet and pushing through the pain because you gave yourself no way out. Real effort is quiet, like a world-class sprinter whose face is relaxed while their muscles are at maximum output. You have to stop chasing the high of motivation and start embracing the depth of transformation. Motivation is a spark that fades, but discipline is a muscle that stays strong long after the feeling has left the room. I want you to begin a 7-day streak of absolute self-discipline, starting this second. No more negotiating with your snooze button. No more scrolling through the nonsense of people who aren't going where you're going. And no more excuses. Cut out 1 weak habit today, whether it's the junk food or the toxic gossip, and replace it with a habit that feeds your soul. Use auto-suggestions to program your mind. I am calm in the chaos. I control my mind. I am becoming stronger every day. Repeat these truths in the mirror until they become your belief, because repetition is the mother of all skill. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So you must be ruthless about who you allow into your emotional space. Some people need to be loved from a distance because you cannot grow a beautiful flower in dirty, negative soil. Surround yourself with visionaries, with people who talk about solutions instead of problems, and with those who make you feel that greatness is inevitable. Protect your time like it is more valuable than money, because you can always earn more money. But once a minute is gone, it is gone forever. Stop spending your hours making someone else richer while you stay the same. I want you to close your eyes and visualize your goal for 2 minutes every morning and every night. See it so clearly that you can smell the air in your dream house, feel the weight of the check in your hand, and hear the applause for your success. Your brain cannot tell the difference between a vividly imagined experience and reality. So if you program it with the image of victory, it will begin to align your habits and your actions to make that vision a fact. This is how you win the inside game. You see it before you live it. You think it before you do it. And you become it before the world ever notices the change. But there is a final layer to this discipline, a standard that separates the 1% from everyone else. And it involves the things you do when absolutely no one is watching. Most people are performers. They only do the right thing when there is an audience to clap. But real toughness, the kind that makes you unshakable, is forged in the silence. It's the extra rep you do when you're tired, the truth you tell when a lie would be easier, and the commitment you keep to yourself when no one would ever know if you broke it. That internal trust is the foundation of self-respect. And without self-respect, you will always be a slave to the opinions of others. You must understand that the circumstances you are in right now are merely echoes of your past thoughts. If you don't like the echoes, you have to change the sound you are making today. Your life 6 months from now is being written in your daily routine this afternoon. Don't count the days, make the days count by doing the hard things on purpose. Every time you lean into discomfort, you are hardening your mind against the pressures of the world. You are teaching your brain that you are a warrior, not a victim. As you walk forward from this moment, I want you to carry this one truth with you. The only limit to your potential is the one you place on your own mind. You were born to do great things, not just to pay bills and die in mediocrity. But the path to that greatness is paved with the bricks of daily, boring, relentless discipline. You must be willing to go to war with your own doubts and stay in the fight until they finally surrender to your vision. You are the CEO of your own mind, the captain of your soul, and the master of your fate. The storm is still outside, and it always will be. But the fortress inside you is now under new management, and this manager is ready for anything. But before you take that first step into your new life, there is one last piece of the puzzle you must see. And it is this: when the lights go out and the world stops asking for your attention, when the noise of the day finally retreats and you are left in the suffocating silence of your own head, you have to realize that your brain is the only weapon you truly have. You can't Google your way out of depression. You can't download a solution for the death of a loved one. And you certainly can't scroll away the crushing weight of real-life tragedy. In those 24 hours of the day when you are alone in that brain, it is either going to be your most trusted ally or your most sadistic master. Most people are walking around with a mind that is constantly talking them out of their own greatness, dragging them into pockets of fear and insecurity. But the climax of your life begins the moment you stop asking for permission and start telling your brain where you want it to go. You have to become the CEO of your own mind, the absolute owner of your thoughts. Because if you do not control the machine will eventually dismantle you. You see, the difference between the person you are and the person you were born to be is found in what I call the new normal. Most people look at the greats, the billionaires, the champions, the leaders, and they think there is some secret code or some magic lottery they didn't win. But there is no secret. There is only a fundamental shift in the frequency of your thinking. It is the realization that success is not a giant leap, but 1,000 boring, repetitive steps taken when no one is watching. It is the decision to embrace the boredom of mastery rather than the excitement of distraction. You want wealth? Wealth doesn't respond to your wishes. It bows only to those who command it with the full force of a mind that is focused, relentless, and unshakably clear. It begins in that unseen work. The unglamorous habits, the silent hours where you duct tape your broken spirit and show up anyway. You have to understand that your life today is merely a reflection of your standards, not your potential. If you tolerate mediocrity, you will live a mediocre life. If you tolerate excuses, you will live a life of regret. Denzel Washington didn't reach the top by being lucky. He reached it by telling himself every single day, I am the best. That isn't arrogance. It is a profound belief that you were made for something bigger. A recognition that greatness is literally written into your DNA. You weren't put here just to get by or to pay bills and die. You were designed with a unique gift that the world desperately needs, but the world will never see it if you are too busy looking for Wi-Fi in a Starbucks while the greats are reading, preparing, and grinding in the dark. The brutal truth is that many of you are dying on tomorrow. You say, I'll start Monday, or I'll change when I'm ready, but let me tell you something. Life doesn't pause to ask if you're ready. It simply arrives like gravity. Tomorrow is the place where dreams go to rot. The right time is now. There is no perfect condition coming to save you. You must take this imperfect moment and command it to obey your vision. You must stop being a passenger in your own car and take the helm with a sound mind, one that is not scattered or reactive, but disciplined and anchored in the truth of who you are. I want you to look at the person you've been for the last year. The one who hit snooze. The one who avoided the hard conversations, the one who let temporary pleasure steal their long-term peace. That version of you has had its turn, and frankly, it has failed you. It is time to murder that version of yourself. You need to reconstruct your identity around strength. When your mind screams, I don't feel like it, you must be the one who calmly replies, we are doing it anyway. This is the essence of mental toughness. It is the ability to do what is right long after the mood you made the promise in has left the room. You have to be so devoted to your vision that the 10,000 failures it might take to get there are seen only as data, not defeat. Think of the boy Kabir and his glass of water. The noise of the world is always going to be there. The chirping birds, the laughing children, the distractions on your phone. If you let the noise dictate your focus, your glass will always be empty. But if you discipline your mind to stay fixed on your purpose, the water remains still even in the middle of a hurricane. You need to practice that open monitoring, that panoramic vision where you see the whole world but remain centered in your own peace. You need to take those 17 minutes of silence to rewire your brain, to stop the attentional blinks that are causing you to miss the opportunities right in front of your face. And when the triggers come, and they will come, you have to be ready. When someone insults you or life pushes you into a corner, you must find that gap between the stimulus and your response. In that gap is your freedom. Don't be the person who reacts like a wounded animal. Be the person who responds like a trained warrior. Use your breath to reset your nervous system. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold, and in that space, remember who you are. You are not your scars. You are the strength that survived them. You are not your past failures. They were just training for the breakthrough that is coming if you just refuse to quit. This is your moment of decision. You are standing at the edge of a 7-day streak that could make you unrecognizable to the person you were a week ago. But it requires you to be ruthless. You have to cut the noise. You have to fire the friends who are pulling you down with their mediocrity and gossip. You have to stop being a consumer of other people's stories and start being the creator of your own. You have to dress with intention, move with purpose, and talk like you've already won. Not because of vanity, but because your spirit is listening to every word you speak. If you speak defeat, you will live in it. If you speak power, you will become it. Now, listen to me carefully, because this is where the road splits. You can finish this conversation and go right back to your old habits, right back to the scrolling, the complaining, and the slow decay of your potential. Or you can decide, truly decide, that from this second forward, your life is under new management. You can decide that you are going to be the person who finishes what they start. You can decide that your words are going to mean something again. You can choose the weight of discipline today. so that you don't have to carry the weight of regret for the next 50 years. I want you to go to a mirror today. I want you to look yourself in the eyes and stop lying. Admit the pain. Write down what has been hurting you, and then write down the power you are going to use to overcome it. Stop wishing it were easier and start demanding that you be stronger. Build that evidence journal. Stack those small wins until they form an unbreakable wall of confidence. Because 6 months from now, you are going to arrive somewhere. The only question is, will you be arriving as a victim of your moods or as the master of your destiny? The world doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care how tired you are or how unfair the situation feels. It only cares about results. And results only come to those who have forged a mind that is tougher than the world trying to break it. You have the power. You have the tools. You have the vision. Now, get out there and act like it. Don't wait for the feeling. Create the movement. Lead your own mind, or someone else will surely lead it for you. Remember Kabir. Remember the Zen master. Remember the whistleblower who risked it all to be the man he knew he was supposed to be. You are the architect of your own reality. Build something that makes your future self look back and weep with gratitude. Build something that proves that the human spirit, when disciplined and focused, is the most unstoppable force in the universe. The mirror is waiting, and so is your life. What story are you going to write today? Don't just exist, live. Don't just dream, do. Don't just watch, become. Your 7-day streak starts this second. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Because the most terrifying thought in the world is the person you could have become, standing over the grave of the person you chose to remain. Don't let that be your end. Rise,